Hi, my name is Kevin Laskowski, and I'm priest in charge here at St. John's Episcopal Church in Centerville, Virginia, inviting you to Summer with the Psalms. Each night in August at 7 p.m., we'll be hosting a hybrid discussion with a small group here in the church and folks on Zoom about the book of Psalms. It's a powerful and prophetic collection of poetry at the center of our scriptures. And each Thursday night, we'll take a look at the book in its entirety and take a deeper dive around a single psalm, one from each of the book's 5 collections. Last week, we took an overview of the book of Psalms, the bookends, Psalm 101 and 150, before taking a really close look at Psalm 29. Psalms is the longest text in the Bible at 150 chapters. It's not the longest text by word count, but it's the longest in that it's a substantial collection, really an anthology of anthologies of 150 poems that have informed biblical faith from theology to music for millennia. The book's arranged in 5 collections. It's meant to mimic the Torah, the all-important first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. And when it's the only biblical text that's reprinted in its entirety in our Episcopal Book of Common Prayer, it becomes a microcosm of all of Scripture, a way of thinking about all of Scripture. We tend to think of the Bible as, or encounter the Bible as a weapon or an artifact. It's either something that we quote to beat others with whom we disagree, or it's something you need a degree in divinity, theology, literature, and archaeology to approach with sufficient depth and rigor. It becomes a weapon of a different kind. But what if there was a still more excellent way of looking at Scripture? And I think Psalms are a clue to do that. We tend to look at the Bible as, these are historical books, these are prophetic books, these are gospels, these are epistles. And then there are these poetical books, some of which are Psalms. So you have all these texts of the Bible, some of which are poetry, some of which are Psalms. What if Psalms was the key to the rest? What if we turned that on its head? What if it was all poetry that we looked at as praise of God? What if there was a still more excellent way of approaching Scripture, not as a weapon, but as a tool, a means of personal and communal transformation? It's my hope that by looking at Psalms, we can renew our approach to the poetry of the Bible and to the Scriptures as a means of spiritual and personal, communal transformation and a reconnection with the God doing that transforming. So with that perspective in mind, we turn to Psalm 29 and its poetry. In Psalm 29, we encounter God in the thundercloud. Scholars believe that Psalms 29's authors were reworking the mythos of the time around a rain god to claim God's supremacy over history and creation and lesser supernatural beings. God's power transforms the world in thunder and lightning. But with repeated invocations of the voice of the voice of the Lord, Psalm 29 becomes this statement about all of Psalms and all of Scripture with it. If we believe that God still speaks in Scripture, then Scripture, as God's voice, has the power to break proud cedar trees, spit fire and lightning, transform the wilderness, strengthen God's people, and finally bless them with peace. So please join us tomorrow, Thursday, August 10th at 7 p.m. There's a link in the description for more on the Psalms and a look tomorrow at Psalm 46 with its famous invocation, "Be still and know that I am God." I hope to see you then.